first on macros at the plasma to break it down. Hey, Carter.
All right, so the biggest of all, let's talk about it. And in many ways, you have to get this right if you're a portfolio manager. It is a sector of itself. There are officially 11 sectors, but really there are 12. Just to put that in context, here are the top 3 largest sectors in terms of their weighting in the S&P. We know tech is 1, financials 2, healthcare 3, in that order. But take a look at Apple. Now, Apple itself, yes, at 4%. How does that compare? Compare this to the bottom 4. It is bigger than all materials that are listed and counted in the S&P 500. It is bigger than all the utilities, all real estate, and all telco. It is a sector, and one has to get it right or wrong. So for 2018, or at least for Q1 and Q2, I think it's a good bet here. Let's look at some charts and try to figure that out. So first chart is this. There's an uptrend. It's 2 years. You can draw the lines to show the uptrend, so let's do it. And I think what you've got is just a nice, steady bounce off the line, bounce off the line, bounce off the line, and just play the odds. Okay, let's zero in here a little tighter. This is just over the last 4, 5, 6 months. You can see the flat top. You can see the trend. Let's put in the lines. That's a technical setup that you can find in books going back to the 1930s and 40s. Typically get resolved up and out. And then just to address the issue, is Apple crowded? Is it maybe ahead of itself? Has it been too good? Now, this is a 10-year chart, and what you see very clearly here is that Apple is up huge since 2012, but it has made no net progress to the market, meaning if it were crowded and over-owned and complacent, it has not performed in 5 years. I think that's the opportunity. I think ultimately you're going to break out from this relative top and finally go above where it was on a relative basis from 2012. And then if you compare Apple to its sector, last chart, it's not only not at the high, it's been making a series of lower intermediate lows. I think that is also an opportunity and not a risk. I like the Apple setup as an absolute chart. I like the fact that it's been going nowhere for 5 years and has catch-up potential.